it's time that we take pause and reflect on how far we have come.
That's right.
You know, there was a time in this race, in this campaign, back on the 1st of June, after having chaired the Democratic Party convention in Sitka, where we made a choice, where Democrats in Alaska, through their encouragement, made a choice to stand up to corporate America, to stand up to what we believe is wrong in Washington, D.C., to stand up for our common principles, for our common beliefs, for our shared values. And I tell you what, this journey started off very humbly. We were a campaign of 2 and 3 and 5 and 10 people. We were a campaign that went from state fair to state fair, backyard barbecue to backyard barbecue. We went and were embraced by the Mat-Su Democrats. And you know, I think our early campaign had so much in common with the Mat-Su Democrats. Because being a Democrat in the Mat-Su Valley is a little bit like being a Christian in Baghdad. You have to be fervent. You have to be strong to keep the faith alive. But I tell you, together we worked through our primary. We raised $17,000 and we won. We won on the 24th of August. And every step of the way, even though slowly at first, we continued to grow. Everywhere we went, everyone we talked to, everywhere we embraced what became almost a slogan in this campaign. Everywhere we go, we grow. And you know, everywhere we have gone, we've grown. And so from there, on the 25th of August, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I had a great conversation with Senator Mark Begich, where we decided that it was time for a small town mayor to go all in. And when I say we made the decision to go all in, it's important that we understand that. Because there has been no one, in my view, who has been more helpful. There's been no one who has leveraged their own credibility, their own capacity, who has accessed relationships, who has used his vast network all over the country to help our campaign more than Senator Mark Begich. And so we started out small. We started out small, but Suzanne joined us and Leslie joined us. And then more folks started to come. And before we knew it, we had a full-time campaign staff of 15 who ascended upon this candidacy like a MASH unit. But I tell you what, this MASH unit brought the body to life. Because before we knew it, we had a full slate of 16-hour days, sometimes 17-hour days, of call time, of media time, of reaching out to constituents, of hosting and holding town hall meetings. And you know what? We continue to grow. We continue to grow. I tell you what, win, lose, or draw tonight, the only thing that could ever stop this campaign is time. Is time. Because I tell you what, we went from being the candidate, the story that wouldn't die, when they published our name as the unknown candidate in the 19th and 20th news cycle. At what point does a candidate become known? On the 21st news story? Well, eventually we became known. And I tell you what, I've been so moved. We have had hundreds of volunteers who have put in thousands of hours behind our common values. We have had over 17,000 donors who have donated to our campaign, and we've raised $1.2 million on behalf of our shared values. You know, on the 25th of August, I took a leave without pay for my job. I have to acknowledge my family. My oldest daughter is here, Caitlin. Caitlin, are you in the room? My daughter Chloe, age 8, and my son Gavin, age 5, are at home. My wife Romy is also here in the room. my thanks and gratitude go out to them for supporting me in this wild and crazy endeavor. But I tell you what, something's happening here. There is a momentum, there is a movement. What we have started here, whether we continue it on in Washington, D.C., or whether we continue it on here in the state of Alaska, or whether we continue it in both places simultaneously, let's acknowledge, let's recognize that we can stand up and be proud, that we can stand up tall, that we can stand up and say we support a woman's right to choose because it's a matter, because it is a matter of personal liberty, because it is a matter of personal liberty. Let's continue this momentum and continue to stand up and say we support a worker's right to organize. Because we know as Democrats that a strong middle class means a strong America. We recognize that demand creates its own supply. We know that by rebuilding the middle class, you rebuild this country.
That's right.
Let's keep the momentum going and proclaim to this state that we are richer because of our diversity, not poorer because of it.
All right. That's right.
That every one of us, regardless of our status, regardless of our orientation, regardless of the language that we speak, the language that we once spoke at birth, that we are all Americans and we are part of a rich tapestry that matches the natural beauty of this state.
That's right.
And Democrats, I'm going to challenge you that from this day forward, never again, not in Anchorage, not in downtown Anchorage, not in Spenard, not in Sitka, not in Juneau, not in Barrow, not in Bethel, not in Angoon, not in Anaktuvuk Pass, will we ever again lower our heads in shame because of what we believe.
That's right.
That we will never again vacillate and waver because we're not sure if we fit into the political mold in this state. Let's be brave. Let's be bold. Because I tell you what, this state was once the state. This state was once the state of Ralph Rivers. This state was once the state of Bob Bartlett. This state was once the state of Ernest Greening. This state was once the state of Bill Egan. This state was even once the state of our friend Mike Gravel. Yeah. But if we continue the momentum that we have built here, if we do not allow ourselves to be slowed down, we can craft the future in Alaska. We're forevermore. We are the state of progress.
That's right.
We are the state of thoughtful dialogue. We are the state that sets the agenda and sets the tone for a nation. You know, anything's possible.
That's right.
In Alaska. Together, we're going to keep painting this state blue. This year, next year, in 12, and 14, and 16, and 18,